Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry it took me a few minutes to get on. I just need to be able to share my screen, Adona.
You
So
should be
once,
able to.
okay,
Let
okay,
me know if you have issues.
okay. First of all, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Good
Um,
morning.
what I want to do today, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You know, I know you guys, we've been doing so much training. It's, with all the different changes that have happened in our industry. Some of us who have been in the business a long time see the big differences and the big changes. The newer people, okay, it's change, you're going to learn it. We're all going to learn it, and we're all going to adjust to it. But besides learning how to write up a buyer agency agreement, let's take the lawsuit, put it out of our heads. It's time for us to get back into our routine and get back to working and building our business, because the business is still out there. There's still plenty of money out there, and we just got to get focused on that. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Got it?
Yes.
Sorry, guys. Little out. Okay, so now we can all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take it from here. Let's go back one. So I don't know if you can still see me, can you?
Yes.
Because I can't.
Yes.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see me. Anyway, and I can't see you guys. Is that the way it's supposed to be, Donna?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't done a Zoom training in a long time. Anyway, so what I was saying was with everything else that we have, it's been a challenging year, right? Wouldn't you all say it's been a challenging year with real estate? A lot of changes, but what we are going to talk about today is the law of consistency. Okay, we must be consistent. Motivation gets you going, and discipline keeps you growing. I know we said going on the thing, but it's growing. Okay, so discipline keeps you growing. Okay, do you know what you need to improve? The successful person has the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. The successful person doesn't like to do them either, but his dislike is subordinated to the strength of his purpose. So basically, we don't all love doing some of the things we need to do, but if we want to be successful, we have to do them. So in doing them, sometimes we may say, okay, I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to start doing this. But it's not something we're comfortable with. It's not something we like doing. So we stop doing it. Okay. We're not consistent with it. And that's what doesn't work for us. So do you know how you are supposed to improve? So a lot of this that I'm going to go over, I need you to just basically really think about what I'm asking you, and answer yourself. You really have to answer yourself honestly and be honest with yourself and see what changes you want to make and where you want to be at, not only with your business, but in life. It will affect everything. Okay, so to grow, most people need knowledge, experience, and coaching. Okay. Very important, this one here. Match your motivation to your personality. We all have different personalities, and what works for one person might not work for you. So we truly, really all know ourselves, and we know our personalities. So we have to find the right niche for ourselves that work with our personality and our personality strengths, okay? Not everyone has the same personality strengths. So when you're looking at, and I know agents do this all the time, we all do it. We see someone who's successful or someone who's doing a lot of business, and we say, what are they doing? What are they doing? Oh, they're cold calling every single morning for 2 hours. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But you try to do it, it doesn't work for you. It works for the other person, but it's not something that's working for you because that might not be your personality strength. Okay. Then maybe you might see someone who does open houses, and they can really connect at an open house, where some people cannot connect at an open house. Okay. Again, this goes to personality strengths. We have all seen and heard of Rob doing his door knocking, which he's wonderful at. You could go door knocking with Rob and know you're going to walk away with a couple of leads. But then sometimes if we go out on our own, it doesn't work the same way. That's Rob's personality. So really try to understand what your personality strengths are, and then pick something from there that you're going to focus on to make it work. Okay. Start with simple stuff. Okay. You do not need to overwhelm yourself with, okay, we're going to make, I know in October has always been the time of year where I'd like to make business plans. And I've done that with many of my agents too, because in October is when we're really starting our new year in the real estate industry. Whatever we're doing, maybe in October, November, December, is not going to close till January. Okay. So we put down a whole bunch of stuff, right? We all start out putting down a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to do. It's like January comes and 12 o'clock rings in New Year, and we're all going on a diet and we're all going to the gym, right? How long does that last? How long does that last? We are creatures of habit. We really are creatures of habit. But we can change our habits, and changing our habits can change our life. Okay? So start with simple stuff. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day will lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. Okay? Small disciplines. The big secret here is the consistency. So pick something, start with something small, or start with one thing that you feel you do well and focus on it and work around that and do it consistently. If you're really good on the phones, then you should be on that phone every morning, every day. Set that time. You don't have to be on the phone all day long. If you could set 2 hours, and I know agents who do it, and it works for them because that's their personality. If you could set that time and make your phone calls for 2 hours, you're going to start getting leads. Okay? Doesn't work for everyone, because if you're not comfortable doing that, if that's not your personality, you're not going to be good on those phone calls. No matter how you're going to rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it, you're going to sound very rehearsed. Someone with a personality that can just make the calls and be comfortable at it, it's going to go a lot smoother. So maybe your little niche might be open houses. Okay. Now, open houses. Unfortunately, over this past year, we haven't seen that many open houses due to the fact that things are going on the market and selling immediately. But open houses, if you are the personality that is good face to face, one on one with people, this is your niche. Do as many open houses as you could do. Open houses are coming back on because I am seeing more inventory sitting on the market. So get involved, even if you don't have listings. Ask in the office, ask your manager where you can do an open house, if that's your thing. If you don't know what your little niche is, you got to figure it out and find out. You'll find out by doing the different things and seeing where your comfort zone is. And what you're comfortable doing is where your personality is and what you're going to be really good at. Okay? So small disciplines repeated with consistency. That's the important part. Every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. So here's another reason we don't do things consistently. We start and we don't see immediate results. We live in a world of instant gratification. Okay, we just want everything yesterday. We want it immediately, so we don't understand that, we have to be a little patient. You have to be patient. Like it says here, discipline is a muscle to be developed. Okay, so look at it that way. If you are going to start going to the gym and you want to be all cut and have all these muscles and stuff, you know, and I know you're not going to be walking into the gym and within the first week of working out, you're going to see all these muscles. You're going to see this weight loss. It doesn't happen immediately. Okay. It's a process and it takes time. So you have to be patient. But if you are not consistent with it, it's not going to happen for you. So take a deep breath. We all need to take a deep breath in this craziness that we're in. We need to exhale and say, okay, let's make a plan here. Make a plan for yourself. Nobody knows you better than you do. Okay. So you are the only one who can answer these questions and really figure out what it is that you need to do. We are all here, us managers, us leaders, we are here to guide you. And we'll guide you in whichever direction you choose. But it really comes down to you to saying, okay, this is where I'm comfortable and this is what I would like to do. And you have to be consistent. You have to do it, no matter whether it's working or not. Do not use the excuse of failing for losing discipline. We don't give it enough time and then we think we failed at it. I'm usually good on the phone. I can make phone calls. I have no fear of making phone calls, but I made them for like a week every day and I didn't get one lead. So then you stop. That's the excuse of failing. It didn't work. It failed. So I'm losing the discipline on that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Discipline is exactly what it is. Discipline, you have to just keep doing what you're doing, whether it's working or it's not working. Eventually it's going to. See, practicing your discipline will grow your consistency. To be consistent, you must be disciplined. It goes hand in hand. And consistency will get you the business. It really will. Always remember, treat this as a business. This is your job. This is your business. And you want to learn what it is you need to do to make it grow. Okay. And this is what you need to do. But you know what? Sometimes when you try to do things all at once, you're just going to overwhelm yourself and you're not going to get any of it done. It's like that old saying, if you chase too many rabbits, you're not going to catch any. So let's go after one rabbit at a time over here, okay? Remember this. You will miss 100% of the goals you never set if you don't set them, okay? And we're going to talk about goal setting over here, but if you don't even set them or if you don't sit down, make a plan, give it some thought, then you're never going to reach your goals or grow or do the business that you want to do. So you have to set them. Value the process. So like I said before, we live in such a world of instant gratification. It's been like that for a while. Always has not been that way. You know what? It makes me think back to the topic of farming. The whole word farming in real estate or in any sales business came from planting the seed and then being patient and waiting for your crops to grow. Okay. We will plant our seeds, but we want to plant it and see the flower or the vegetables or whatever is in your garden. We want to see it there immediately. It's not working that way. But this is what we have come accustomed to in the world we live in. It's our instant access world. Press a button, get a cup of coffee. I mean, everything is instant, with our phones, everything. So we have to learn to step back, take a step back and value this process. There is a process for everything. And it says over here, process is the victim. Process has become the victim because nobody wants to value the process anymore. But you need to have the process in order to achieve your goals. Think about this. You are exactly where you should be given all that you have done to get there. Okay? So, where you are right now is where you should be because you are exactly where you put yourself. What anything you've done is for where you are now. So if you wanted to be somewhere different, you would have you would have had to do things differently. Okay? Are we getting that? The real question is habits need to change over time to make the difference. So if you don't like where you're at right now, or your business, you don't like where your business is at right now, I can't change it for you. None of our leadership can change it for you. You have to change it. And you can change it. You change it by changing your habits. You have the power to change anything in your life. We all know that. The power is within us, always is for anything in life. And this not only goes for real estate, this goes for anything you do, any changes you want to make. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Ask yourself, what do you need to change over time to make the difference? Make those small little changes and you will see the difference. Okay? Your daily goals will pave the path to direction change, which will construct the road to total life change. Okay? So it's small little baby steps, maybe. Okay? You want to pave a path. There is no path there for you right now, so you need to start paving a path. You're not going to go like this and that path is paved and you're just going to follow that yellow brick road and go to Oz, right? It doesn't work like that, not in the real world. So if you have little daily goals, decide what they're going to be. That's the first process, and that's so important. Decide what they're going to be. And those little goals will start to make that path for your direction change. And that's going to construct your whole road to a total life change and a total business change. So it's valuing the process in those little steps. Okay. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, here we go. This is a big one. And many of us have heard this many times, and you could use this in everything in your life. But especially when I sit with people, I ask them this question because you really need to be truthful. You really need to answer this for yourself. Do you know why you want to keep improving? Okay, this is the question of your own motives and life purpose. The question, you may have heard it before, is the big why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Your why is your motivation. If you have this big why, that's what's going to motivate you to make your changes, to do what you're doing. Your big why may be, I want to get out of debt. I want to pay off my mortgage. I want to put my kids through college. I want to put my grandkids through college. Whatever, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a condo. I want to buy investment properties. What is your big why? Because when you can focus on what your why is, it will give you your motivation. Okay, but you need to know that. So take the big why test. We're going to go through these questions. You can write them down. This is for yourself, but just be very honest with yourself because that's all you're talking to right now is you. So here's the big why test. Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Many of us do. Many of us do. So, but just be honest with yourself, ask yourself that question and answer yourself. Do you procrastinate? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? Are you the kind of person who needs to be coaxed and coaxed and coaxed to do some small chores? Or are you one who just goes out there and will, okay, this is what I have to do it. Okay, this is, and this is, there is no right or wrong here. Okay, these are just questions for yourself so you can figure out what you need to change. No right or wrong answers. Do you perform duties to just get by? Like, are you doing them just because, okay, I'm going to do this because I have to. I'm going to clean my house because if I don't, it's going to be dirty and dusty. Just to get by, just to get by. Here's a big one. This is really, do you constantly talk negative about your work? Now, the reason I say this is a big one is because within this past year and even before the lawsuit, with the low inventory, I hear so much negativity about the real estate market, right? We see it on social media, and the biggest culprits are real estate agents. We are the ones talking negative about it. We are the ones who are posting stuff on social media. We need to get away from that negativity. We need to set an example on that. Stop talking negative about your work. Because if you continue to be in that negative pattern, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You need to take that negativity, get rid of it, get rid of it. And this is a habit that has to be changed, because you might be in the habit of always saying, oh my God, that's no inventory and all my offers are not getting accepted and I've made so many offers and blah, 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 blah. And this one's not putting out commission anymore. That's all negative. Let's take it out of the equation. It will take practice. It will take practice to stop talking negative. But every time you do it, catch yourself doing it and take it away. That will make big changes if we could get away from the negativity. And then we're going to be focused on the positive stuff about our real estate business. And that's what we'll get. Do efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? You have to honestly ask yourself that. Sometimes friends or even leaders want to be helpful, encouraging you to do what you need to do. Like, I may be encouraging you, like, are you making phone calls? Are you doing open houses? And is that irritating you instead? And if it is, you have to ask yourself why. Why would that be irritating you? Okay. Do you start projects and then abandon them? Big culprit. Do you start, many of us, we start things and we're so ambitious and we're so motivated and this is what we're going to do. Like I said, it's like New Year's Eve. I'm going to the gym and I'm going on a diet. As soon as that clock hits 12, and within a month, boom, okay, it's done. We abandon them. That's where the consistency comes in. That's where I tell you that it's a muscle that you have to really work, okay? Because if you don't work that muscle, it's not going to grow. Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Okay, some of us do, some of us don't, but these are questions I want you to ask yourself. Has quitting become a habit? Are you the type of person who plays chopsticks, or do you conduct an orchestra in your own life? Which one would you rather do? Would you rather sit at the piano and play chopsticks? Boo, boo, boo. We've all done that, right? Or would you rather be conducting a beautiful symphony in your life? It's up to you, because you can do that and you can make those changes. Even the small right choices over time become big victories. So they might seem small. They might seem to you, oh, these little changes that I'm going to make, what is that going to do for me? Over time, you will see the big changes it makes and the big victories it brings to you if you keep doing it and you're consistent with it. Okay, do you know when you're supposed to improve? Or do you know when, right, do you know when are you supposed to improve? When? So I don't wear my watch all the time anymore. And I love my watches, but they've become annoying and we all live with this, unless you have a phone watch, but the clock, I could always check the time there. But even when I'm looking at my phone, if I'm not wearing my watch, I can look at it and when does someday strike? Where does it say on our watch or on our phones? Today is someday. It doesn't. Someday never comes, okay? You have to make your changes today, and you have to make them every day. It's not something you could say, okay, I'm going to do this today. You're going to do it today, and then you're going to get up tomorrow and do it tomorrow, and every day after that, if you want to see the change. Life change must occur daily. I want you to reflect for a minute on 2 habits. Just think about 2 habits that you need to change today. 2 things that you'd really like to improve or you'd like to change. Again, this is all for you. It's not stuff you have to share with anybody, but just reflect. So be honest with yourself, okay? Now, defining growth as an amazing process. You might say, okay, she's really losing it now. Maybe it's time to stop setting goals. What does that mean, Marilyn? Stop setting goals. We're always setting goals, right? And we do, and we set goals. But let me ask you, what's the difference between goal-oriented and growth-oriented? There is a difference, okay? There is a difference between goal and growth-oriented. And let's just look at some of it. So if you're goal consciousness, you focus on a destination, okay? I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to reach that goal, okay? If you're growth consciousness, you focus on the journey. That's growing. The journey is part of it. The journey is the part to get to the destination, right? Goal consciousness motivates you and others. Yes, setting goals is great and it's going to motivate you. But growth consciousness is going to mature you and others. And as you will grow and you will start to see things differently and do things differently. Goal consciousness is seasonal. Okay, we set our goals, like I said, whether it's October, whether it's January, and we're setting it for the year. Okay, and we're going to try to achieve it for the year. Or maybe we're going to set monthly goals and try to achieve them for the month or the week, right? Growth consciousness is lifelong. When you're growth consciousness, you're always growing and you're learning and you're making yourself better. Okay, goal consciousness challenges you to get something done. Okay, growth consciousness changes you. It changes you. You can change to have better habits. You can change to do things more consistently to get things done. You have the power to make all those changes. Goal consciousness stops when the goal is reached. Okay, and then, yeah, it stops, and then we have to reset another goal. And setting goals is a great thing. A lot of us can set goals and we can achieve them, and that's wonderful. But we're setting them with a limited amount of time that we're going to do it, and then we have to reset them. Okay, but that's goal consciousness. That's how it works. But growth consciousness keeps growing beyond the goal. Even when you pass the goal, because you're growing, you're changing, okay? Your habits are changing, the way you work is changing. Goal consciousness waits for growth to come, okay? Growth consciousness takes the responsibility to grow. Okay, here's a couple more. Goal consciousness learn only from mistakes. Growth consciousness learns before mistakes. Okay, so as we grow, we have learned from our mistakes and we don't make the same mistakes. That's where you learn before your mistakes. Goal consciousness depends on good luck. I don't know if I agree with that 100%. But growth consciousness relies on hard work. It's not easy to make changes, but it's definitely doable. Definitely doable because we can change anything, but it's not happening overnight. Your potential is not an event, goal, or product. Your potential is a constant journey of discovery, growth, and insight. Okay? So you're constantly on this journey. You know, if you are consistent and you set what you want to do and you do it and you work that muscle, um, you're going to see the results. You're going to feel the changes. You're going to change as a person. You're going to get, your business is going to grow from it. Your business is going to grow from it. Constantly productive. Even the greatest composers did not wait for inspiration. If they waited for inspiration, they probably, yeah, they may have been inspired to do something. It gets them started, but they have to constantly be working it, or else they would have let it go. Waiting is often merely the excuse we use for not producing. That's the big one. Waiting. We're waiting for the interest rates to come down. We're waiting for more inventory to come on the markets. We're waiting for better commissions. Whatever it is you're waiting for, it's an excuse. That waiting is an excuse. We're waiting for nothing. Stop waiting and start doing. That's the only way to keep your business going and consistent. Being consistent is the answer for productivity. So I want you all to, I want you all to pick something that you feel is good for your personality, something that, and to feel good with your personality, it's got to be something that you're comfortable doing. If you are a people person and you like to talk to people in person, well, then focus on that. Whether you're going to do open houses, or whether you're going to go out there and door knock, or whether you're going to go out doing town's having a fair, a spring fair or something, and you get a booth because you need to see people face to face. Okay. If you're someone who's really good with the phone, okay, that means if you're comfortable with it, that means that's your personality. Then I would suggest you start making the phone calls. Start making the phone calls. Don't ever stop. Just keep calling. Keep calling people. Keep calling neighborhoods. And you're going to start getting leads and you're going to start getting appointments. Okay, but you must be consistent with it. Consistency is the key to success. It really is. Here's a quote by Michael Angier. If you develop the habits of success, you will make success a habit. And that's what you need to work on doing. Okay, making your success a habit. So constantly productive does not mean grinding away at work. It simply means that the consistent person is the productive person. I've said it so many times, you don't have to put 80 hours a week in real estate to make money, but you need to make your plan. You need to be consistent with it. You need to do something every day. Okay. Even if it's not that comfortable, you will make, 28 days. If you do something for 28 days, it becomes a habit. So can you take something and do it for 28 days? And then see what happens after 28 days, how it becomes a habit and you're more comfortable with it. If you decide, I'm going to be a walker, I'm going to start walking. Okay, that's the exercise I like. You know what? Get out there the first day, the second day. After a week, you may say, okay, I just walked a whole week. I'm taking a break tomorrow. Today, I'm not going to do it. And then little by little, you just kind of back off of it. You're not being consistent with it. But if I went out there and I walked every single day for 28 days, you know what? I think on day 29, I won't be comfortable if I'm not out there walking because it has become a habit to me. And then I want to go out there and do it. So if it's the same thing with our phone calls, our door knocking, whatever we're doing for our business, we must keep doing it. In the beginning, it might not be too comfortable. In the beginning, you might say, well, I'm going to take a break. You can't take a break. No breaks. Keep doing it. You have to throw yourself in right now. The market things have changed in our real estate industry, but our real estate industry is not over. They're always going to need us. And there's always going to be houses to sell. There's always going to be people who need houses to live in. So we just have to make some adjustments. And it's all going to work out, and we have, oops, I keep doing that. We have so much training. Before I go there, we have so much training. If you're not comfortable with something, come into one of our trainings. Like I said, we've been going over the buyer agency, and we will continue to go over it. And that's just practice. There's a perfect example of consistency. Keep practicing it. And that might be the one thing you want to do for 28 days. Practice that buyer agency. So you're so comfortable doing it that when the time comes, it's going to be easy for you. Well, let me see 1 minute here. Oh, I'm back here. So what I do want to share with you, first of all, does anybody have any questions? But what I want to share with you is this. What I've gone over came out of this. This is a book that is fabulous. And it's the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, okay, by John Maxwell. I went over one today. If it was something you liked, I could do it monthly and go over the different laws for you to help you grow and to help you grow your business, because that's what it's meant to do. If you could get a copy of the book, it's fabulous. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions?
Can you repeat that again, please?
I'm sorry, honey.
Can you repeat that again? 15 laws.
Let's see. 15 Laws, John Maxwell. Get it on Amazon. He actually has a lot of books on there that will help you in your business and in your life. I picked the law of consistency today because I felt that's a subject that we really need to work on, because being consistent is going to give us a lot of business. It's going to give us, oh, let me do this. So does anybody have any other questions or anything they would like to discuss with this? All good? Again, I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope this was helpful for you. If you can just walk away with something small that you can change, do it. Do it and see what happens. See what happens in a month from now. Make the decision to be consistent with something that you're not too consistent with. And like I said, we look at other people and say, other agents, and say, wow, their business is so fabulous. They're doing so much business. What do they do? And I'm going to do what they do. It doesn't always work for us. You got to find out what works for you. Okay. And that's what you're going to be consistent with. And that's what you're going to do. Okay.
This was great.
I hope it helped you. And if you want any more from me, and I love doing this in person too. I hate Zoom.
Well, this was great.
We reach more people with Zoom, but I hoped it helped you. It's to give you something to think about, and it's up to you to make the changes. The real estate world is not done. It's really not done. There's so much here for us, and we're going to strive with this. A lot of agents are going to strive. We're going to keep moving forward. Big thing, like I had mentioned, get away from the negative talk. Get away from the negative talk. The sky is not falling. Okay, guys? Again,
thank you, Marilyn.
I don't know if you have anything else.
Great session. Before you guys leave, just so you know, you will be receiving an invitation later today or tomorrow for next week's Mastermind on Tuesday. We're doing rental compliance. So you get the option to either join us on July 2nd or August 9th with all the new changes forms. We took the time to come up with what's required, why it's required, and what your responsibility is. So we highly recommend that you guys at least sign up for one of them. So just remember, July 2nd is the first one. The second one will be August 9. Rob Lazar wants all of our agents to really participate in one of them. It's to benefit you, especially now we are doing more rentals than ever before. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you and
Awesome.
have a great day.
You too.